All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Colecast presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef, and we are bringing you the Runic Shift Invitational. We are in the round one, the quarterfinals, round of 8 here with ex-Trademark taking on Afraid. I'm joined today by iNsania. iNsania, thanks for being here once again to cast this awesome event.
Thank you for having me. Really excited. I think this is going to be a really good game. We just had a huge patch. It's shifted up everything, as the title of the tournament does suggest. It is almost a complete different game. And yeah, right away we're going to see Lodestone picked up by Jolim's team.
Yeah, we are indeed. I mean, already some interesting heroes. Just taking a look back as we did get started just a second late here, some last minute addition of iNsania, which he offered to cast, and I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't know you weren't playing right now. But all the way back up there, Keeper of the Forest being blind banned by both teams, Tempest and Wild Soul also removed. Those are pretty standard. The lock pool, a little bit different there with the addition of a Blitz. Still don't think that's going to be added in, though. Artillery as well as Moon Queen and your supports in there. Nothing too much to talk about. But talking about these picks, I mean, Tundra, definitely something TDM experimented with, and then we already see the Lodestone now on the Hellborn team.
Yeah, these are really, if you just look at the board overall, you can see right away these are active heroes. There's no let's sit back and farm heroes. These are heroes that can all four set up kills. Like, look at the Hellborns. I got Tundra, he sets up kills. Parasite, he gets the kills. Bubbles, an amazing roamer. It's overall just going to be really, really oriented about, are you able to get the enemy dead? Are you able to kill them and move on from there?
Yeah, that's definitely what we will be looking at here in this game. Now, with that being said, the last pick over here, they're shadow picking Kraken. They got 25 seconds left. With what you see in the lock pool, what kind of hero are you expecting them to pick?
In all honesty, it could be, and it could even be that Kraken that they're pre-picking. They want heroes that they can get kills with. Hellbringer, wow. The hero's
Yes!
gone through a massive rework. He's got a huge buff on his ultimate. It will actually spawn one Mouth as a level 1, which is standard, but level 2 will spawn 2, and level 3 it will spawn 3. This means triple the pushing power, a lot more to deal with, and he's an overall much, much stronger hero in the later game.
Oh, he most certainly is, with buffs to both his Unholy Shackles as well as his Life Void, and a reduction on cooldown on that ultimate, which I believe has been reduced to only 120 seconds now. Refresher Orb now even more viable, plus the Puzzle Box buff. I mean, Hellbringer is definitely a hero to be feared in this metagame, and I'm very much so looking forward. This is the first time I've seen a Hellbringer in competitive in quite a while. Seen things like the Tundra getting a puzzle box quite a bit in scrims yesterday, but these teams finish up right there. The Hellbringer going to join up with Andromeda and Artillery from the lock pool, while on the other side, Moon Queen going to make a showing as well as the Aluna. Both of these teams looking pretty damn strong.
Yeah, I really like the Legion team, I have to say. Tundra is just such a perfect hero for this new kind of a game where you are going to have action-packed games. There's no way to avoid that. With Bubbles, Aluna with the global snipe together with the Tundra ultimate, it's perfect. We'll set it up every single time. And then they have the Parasite on top of that with Bubbles as well. I really like TDM's draft in this game. But that's not to say that the Hellborn has a weak draft. It looks like they're going to go for a long lane, tri lane, or maybe even suiciding the Lodestone. It'll be interesting to see how they play it out.
It will be indeed, as I'm just going to kick it back to the splash screen here for 1 second, guys, as we do have a pause at the beginning of the game. I want to make sure that if it does go for any more than a couple of minutes, that there aren't any accusations of ghosting or whatnot, as we had problems with people accusing that in Haunter in the past. But I mean, iNsania, talking about this patch and just so many changes, if you could pick one change that is your absolute favorite, what are you thinking it would be?
Golden XP values. It was one of the things, since I've been working pretty much side by side with S2 when it comes to this patch. One of the things that I liked the most was definitely like the fact that hero kills are rewarded so much more than they used to be. Getting a kill on a hero is like far better than ganking. I mean, than farming, and you'll see that you really are. Support players are not going to be like a level 7 support 30 minutes into the game anymore. If they survive a team fight, they're going to be on par. They're going to have a lot of levels. They're going to have a lot of farm, and they're really going to be able to use a lot more heroes because of this. It's no longer going to be like the Glacius, Aluna, Engineer, because these guys can do good without levels. You're going to be able to see more heroes that might need some more levels to get going, but if they do, survive a team fight, they're gonna get that, and therefore it's worth risking that little bit, maybe picking a little bit weaker laners, use the pull, get heroes experience, and get them into the game. I think we're gonna see a lot more diversity in the picks thanks to this.
Yeah, it definitely could. As I mean, you and I, we were both watching some scrims yesterday. I believe that you were actually even playing in some of those scrims yesterday, and just seeing the versatility in those heroes that were coming out. I mean, I saw in one of the games that you had Noob G running Pandemonium on your team.
Yeah.
Very fun heroes, and some heroes that we definitely have not seen. I think that we saw in the Han Tour Cycle 8, I think in Diamond Division we saw something like 65 different heroes. Would not be surprised to see that number jump up to something like 80 or even 90 heroes that are actually being used with all the changes that have been made in this patch. And I mean, if you had to ask me what my favorite buff is here, it would be one of the two items, either the Elder Parasite or the Puzzle Box. I'm a huge fan of the Puzzle Box, but Elder Parasite is just such an aggressive item, and it allows you to really, with that plus 250 HP that you get from the Beast Heart now, it allows you to get into the middle of those fights without being too scared of that 15% damage amp. So very much so looking forward to seeing so many different heroes take advantage of that item and just get kind of crazy with it.
Yeah, I mean it does apply crazed, so. Yeah, but I think one of the biggest difference, however, is going to be like you're gonna see in the whole playstyle, the teams are not gonna be sitting back trying to control as much farm anymore. I think it's gonna be a lot more aggressive. They really are going to seek kills. You're gonna see Minus probably this game on Parasite and Zai and Tundra. These two are probably gonna pair up together and just constantly be roaming the map. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of time spent by them farming at all as soon as they have their items.
No, most certainly not. But right now, we do have Afraid making their way as 4 into the Hellborn jungle. Bubble's going to be able to get a ward down, and that's something else that, with this new patch, level 1 counter wards are back. So Limp gets that block off, but as soon as they realize that it has been blocked, I mean, Rhythmic could throw down a counter ward right now. He's already got Ward of Revelations in his inventory. He really wants to open up that pull, and immediately throws the counter ward down. And
they're not seeing the ward. Wow.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
They can actually walk up there where the ward is.
Oh,
are they just not aware? Oh, there we go. He saw it there.
There we go. And beautiful. They get the counter ward off immediately. That's not only 100 gold that was now wasted by the ex-Trademark team, but it's also going to be a lot of their level 1 vision, and that pull is going to be opened up. You know, a minute in, you're going to be looking at a stack there, and lane position is going to be extremely favorable for artillery.
Yep. And on top of that, Andrew's going to be farming. I think that is a major thing.
Yes.
If you look at the lineup, they have Hellbringer middle. He's going to be going up solo against this Tundra, being played by Zai. I think, and what they're doing is they're farming the Andrew at the same time. They're farming 5 heroes, which is going to mean when they go into these mid-game clashes, it's not going to be that one support that just dies instantly. He's going to have a little bit of levels. He's going to have a little bit of gold. And it's going to make a big difference. TDM actually do have the pull open. It's not even been warded. So I'm expecting Fitski to be farming that as well. He does have a counter ward on him. But oh, look at this, Pablo.
Yeah, Lodestone being played by Long Lane McDad here for Afraid. Went boots first and immediately just going to roam over toward mid, where Tundra's already at half-life, and Hellbringer could be looking to set up a kill with the rocket drill here, and there's the rocket drill. In he goes. The auto attack damage is there. Not going to be enough, but Tundra going to have to fall back, and without any potions on him, he's now not going to be able to press up into that creep wave, giving Hellbringer good farm in the middle lane.
Yeah, and I mean, Hellbringer does have a little bit of an advantage in this lane. He's a range share with crazy harass. In 1v1 situations, he's very, very dominant. Tundra is also really, really strong when it comes to putting out that damage, but he needs his bottle before he gets going. So expect Hellbringer to do really well before that happens.
Now, speaking of that bottle, the 1v1 mid making a little bit of a return as a result of the Rune of Refreshment that was just added. Now there are 2 runes that essentially spawn every 2 minutes. One is the True Rune, the haste or the regen or the invis, double damage, illusions or whatnot. And opposite of that, the Rune of Refreshment spawning, of course, giving you up to 2 bottle charges if you do bottle that up, or even if you don't have a bottle, it gives you 1 bottle charge just if you pick it up. So you don't necessarily need somebody to run your bottle for you. If you can just 100% chance walk over there, take 15 seconds out of your lane, and get minimum 2 bottle charges. And it really has shown, as we've been seeing solo mids a little bit more.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's necessarily because of the rune as much as it is because of the pull, but it definitely
True.
is. You're gonna see the junglers, as you saw right here. Ophelia goes for the runes. It's always good to go for runes now. It used to be like, okay, well, yeah, you'll go for the rune. If you don't get it, well, you didn't get anything. You missed out on some time, and it would demotivate you. Now, as a support or a jungler or anything really, going for the rune will always give you the satisfaction of finding something. You won't be left with absolutely nothing.
All right.
Anyways, good play from Fine here. If you look at the jungle, he's triple stacked his medium camp, and this is one of the best sources of experience. And he's getting another Vagabond leader. This is great. He's gonna have fantastic farm this game.
Well, he certainly is. Has that double damage that he grabbed up at the top rune, and now we'll be able to use that Vagabond leader to try to clear out that triple stacked medium. But first, going to go ahead and do a little bit of pulling on the Ebulas, and yeah, having very good farm indeed. Want to remind you guys what the format of this tournament is. We are in a 8-team invitational format. By the end of the first round, we're going to be down to 4, so just the semifinals, and we will be covering those tomorrow. So all 4 quarterfinals going to be going on here, 2 on Honcast, 2 right here on Colecast. Later on today, we'll have Complexity Gaming versus Q Squad 357 right here on Colecast, while Honcast will be covering Stay Green versus iNsania, your team, Insanity, which should be another awesome matchup.
Yeah, hopefully we can give them a run for their money, but they're a really good team, and it's gonna be a hard game.
It will indeed. All these matches are best of 3. I believe that it's going to be best of 3,
Yeah.
even through the finals. So make sure to tune in for that, guys. Lots of awesome Han action coming at you this weekend as Lodestone making a run through the forest once again. He does still have those boots, so quite fast, but he's going to run into 3 players of the Legion team here. There's the Leech coming out. He's turning around onto the bubbles, has the head smash available. There's the auto attack damage. Bloodlust comes out for Pablo McDad. He gets turned around on, and Minets gets the second kill, but well worth it.
Yeah, well done there from Pablo. Limp, not really exactly sure on how much damage a new hero does. You could notice there. He would not have done that kind of a mistake if he was 100% sure how much damage it was. He would have just ran away and tried to make it out. However, that didn't work out. Bottle, gonna be given to Minets, popping his Invis rune here. Gonna try to set something up middle by the looks of it.
And, I mean, speaking of that damage, of course, a double-edged type attack called Head Smash there on Lodestone, if you're not too familiar. Dealing 240 damage, single target, to that bubbles at only level 2 as Parasite goes in the middle lane here. There's the Leech coming in. The face hug is in as well. Shell Surf from Limp as he gets his revenge in the middle lane. Going to give his team now 2 hero kills.
Yeah, nice little detail there. Minets waited for Hellbringer to use both of his dot abilities. The Life Void, I do believe it's called. No, the Death Coil and Unholy Shackles before he used his ulti. To transfer them over to the opposition, making sure that he doesn't take any extra damage that he doesn't need to take. So, well done there. Up top, you see a push going on from King Jolin.
Yep, Team Afraid going to be trying to get the second tower kill here as Moon Queen being played by Haxrin. Farming at 400 gold per minute right here for the ex-Trademark team. And looks like this tower kill score is going to be equalized as Ophelia and Artillery, as well as Andromeda, proving just a little bit too strong for that measly little tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going for more, and I think this is the correct decision from them. They have the heroes they need. Artillery's amazing for pushing early on. I'm surprised if they went for the mech before her mana ring, because it kind of limits their pushing power a little bit. It will help in the fact that they can heal the creeps and heal themselves. It's good if their TDM puts up a defense, but I think the mana ring would have been better, simply to give Artillery the mana he needs to continue spamming his LRMs. And yeah, Zai moving up here, counter pushing, nicely done. Gives Hellbringer a little bit of space in middle, but all in all, a good play.
Now, Hellbringer, we mentioned that he should have a little bit of, actually, pressure in the bottom lane. Parasite just going on to Lodestone for a second, but we said that Hellbringer would actually have the advantage in the middle lane, but with the gank that did come in from Parasite, Tundra actually able to take an advantage there. He's at 300 and, well, he was at 320 gold per minute, now down to just about 300 with his roaming, but now that he's back into the middle lane, looking pretty dang even with the Hellbringer. So great job from Zai, aka Novi Pirate, in the middle lane, and more action here top. There's the Malphus called down on top of Aluna. Not gonna get the Fire Breath off right here. There's the Death Boil. One more attack on the Death Boil. Not gonna happen. The Avalanche turnaround gonna be coming in. There's the Power Throw, the auto attack damage, the charge, and down goes Hellbringer again. Getting shut down by great movement from Zai.
Yeah, gonna get picked off again. Um, Using the ultimate there, a bit questionable. I think Luna picked up an Invis rune. I wasn't really sure what he wanted to achieve with that.
It was actually
I
just
think,
the refreshment rune.
oh, it was just a refreshment rune. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was a bit risky. I mean, Zai was in the middle lane. He went for the kill. It's good that he's using the ultimate, but well, it didn't really work out. And now it's a major ultimate on cooldown, and I didn't get a kill with it. So it's kind of a big deal.
No, it most certainly is, and that's something that you would want to see again using for some kind of counter initiation or even a push. But right now, just going to be using it to farm the creep wave off the tower in his middle lane, and there it is. It's dead before he's able to mount a push with it or anything like that. So yeah, questionable and unfortunate that it didn't work out, as could be in some trouble again. There's the charge right up the cliff. Ophelia Heal going to be coming out. There's the Emerald Red lightning stun, it looked like, as Hellbringer taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down to his own death boil right here, and down he goes. Great job from Parasite using that face hug to transfer the debuff, and ends up getting the kill. Even got the Lex Talionis in on that one to reduce the additional magic armor.
Yeah, it's a fantastic item for heroes like Parasite and hard supports mainly. The reason it's so good on these type of heroes is because they don't necessarily take too much damage themselves, so they're not really affected by the debuff that the item applies on them.
Yeah.
And you're going to see this. I think this item is going to be one of the most frequently picked up items in the game, especially when it comes to this ganking. You just saw how powerful it was right there. He, together with a life void that actually was transferred to Hellbringer this time, it gives him a lot of negative armor. And that just, the life foil just ticks them down. Very well done from TDM. They knew their limits. They didn't overextend, even though a lot of TPs were popped.
Now,
And
I saw the thing that looked like an Emerald Red Lightning, that of course being the Lex Talionis. That was the first time I've seen it. Now, if he gives himself the negative armor debuff, can he transfer that over as, oh, action up top, Avalanche going on to Artillery, Bubble Shell Surf, Song of the Sea, and a great kill onto Yolam, who was pushed up just way too far. But back to that question, can he transfer the Lex Talionis debuff onto his opponent with that face hug?
if somebody puts it on him, I'm pretty sure he can. I'm not exactly sure, but it
because
should be
he
transferable.
debuffs himself, right? When he uses the Lex
Oh,
Talionis?
you mean debuff? Interesting question. I don't actually know.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Seems like that would be a ton of negative magic armor. I mean, up to -6 magic armor as a result of the -3 debuff on Hellbringer, and then transferring his own -3 debuff as well.
Yeah. That would be really, really strong if it works.
It would indeed.
Suppose somebody has to check out the mechanics for him after the game and see how it really does work. But yeah, push in the middle lane. Hellborn are going to use the fact that they have a lot of pushers. They have Hellbringer, who's an amazing hero to push. He's awesome in these early game team fights, and that makes him such a good pusher on top of everything. Like, the Malphus, of course, the damage it does is great for killing towers, but it's more so the threat of the Malphus popping down that makes you not want to take the fight. He is going to stun your entire team unless you take him out at the start of the fight. Here we go, a lot of rapid.
A lot of anti-push coming out right there as the Hellborn team really wants this tower. The Ophelia's ultimate already going off. Here comes the TP. The new animation going to tell you exactly when that player's coming in. Great deny coming in from Fitsky. And now it looks like a couple of minions are going to die here. Ooh, Catman Champion surviving it. Just 10 life. Is Artillery going to get caught out? There's the Malphus counter initiation. The Lex Talionis going to be going out there as well. Artillery gets the Artillery barrage off, and Novi Pirate going to go down. Great job from the Hellborn team making sure to collapse on Tundra. And it looks like he was just kind of left for dead by his team. Maybe some miscommunication on the part of ex-Trademark.
There was not really much they could do at that point. There was a lot of TPs invested from, again, I mean, Team Afraid. They were all 5 here in the middle lane. They only got a kill on a Tundra, and they used all their cooldowns. Just look at the ultimate list. Everything was fused. This gives TDM a couple, about 70 seconds of free farm right now, which you don't have to be afraid of anything happening, and it's all good for them. So, I actually, even though, yeah, they did get the Tundra kill, they used a lot of cooldowns, and I think this actually favored TDM. They got the deny on the tower, and only one hero died, so I think it was a good trade-off in favor of TDM, actually.
Alright, well, this does give the Hellborn team time to fall back, get some of those earlier items that they are indeed looking for. Hellbringer, unfortunately, just finishing up his Steam booth right now. Typically a hero that you want to see having good lane dominance as a result of his strong laning presence, and then being able to continue farming from there, but his farm really has been stunted pretty effectively by the early pressure that he felt at the hands of Tundra and Parasite. And speaking of that Parasite, he's heading up into the top lane. Maybe wants to find Yolem. Only 834 life. Could very well get a kill with the level 3 Lex Talionis that he has.
Yeah, it actually does amplify the damage quite a lot. I'm not sure if it's enough. The ultimate only does 200 damage at level 1 from Parasite, so not the strongest ability to just go solo kills. But together with the bubbles here, definitely was able to get the kill. But we're not lucky enough to find him.
Yeah, unfortunately are not, but they are making their way toward the middle lane. Invisible Parasite going to spot out the Hellbringer. There's the Lex Talionis and the auto attack damage coming in. There's the red snipe and the auto attacks with the Kelpfield. From Bubbles, down goes again. 4th death of the game. Not the way you want to start on this Hellbringer.
Not at all. And on top of everything, they're TPing in every single time. So they're wasting even more gold. But what might just look as a pickoff ends up being worth so much more because they're leaving bottom lane open. Nobody's getting any farm there. They're TPing in with a lot of heroes. That was 2 heroes there, I do believe. So about 250 gold, 280 gold, actually 70 gold, spent on TPs. On top of that hero kill, that's basically another hero kill worth of gold in favor of TDM. So yeah, things really working in their favor.
Yeah, it certainly is. And talking about those TPs, I mean, that might be something that teams just need to realize, that now that the TP has been increased all the way up to 4 seconds on those tier 1 towers, it's not going to be worth it all the time to do those TPs because of how long it takes. You're not always going to be able to get there in time. And when you've been playing a certain way for so long, in this case, I mean, the metagame's been essentially the same for about 8 months now, and none of the mechanics have changed. People are very, very used to TPing in to try to save their opponent, excuse me, trying to save their allies. And now with that change, gonna have to adjust and say, is it going to be worth it? And make that split-second decision before they activate that Homecoming Stone.
Yeah, it's a little bit of out of time. It's about 1 second on the tier 1 towers. The tier 2s are 3.5. Not really the biggest deal there, but it mainly affects you on the tier 1 towers when people are diving early on in the game. So you need to, it's gonna take over for people to get the feel for it again. I mean, when I was playing SPT during, like when they first added this into the game, I was canceling my TP all the time because you're so used to it. After 3 seconds you just move. You don't look at the channeling bar, you just do it. So it's gonna be a while for people to get used to it, I do believe. And but once people do, it's not gonna be the biggest deal. It's really mostly going to affect the early levels on the tier 1 towers. It's going to give a little bit more incentive for people to dive, which I think is definitely a step in the right direction.
It certainly is incentivizing that action early, as Tundra is going for that puzzle box, does have a bolstering armband already after his steam boots, and I believe I saw the Neophytes book even picked up. It's going to be in base for right now. But he's getting damn close, about 500 gold off of that puzzle box. And Insania, I mean, can you outline those changes that we did see to the puzzle box?
Yeah, the puzzle box is actually overall given a little bit better stats on the minions that are spawned, but the biggest difference is that they do reveal vision. They do give reveal wards, sorry. They have true vision, I believe it's called. No?
Yes.
True sight. Whatever. So they see the wards, and you can go around cannon warding with that. Together with the gem nerf that was actually given, that's a huge deal. Bound Eye no longer spots wards naturally, and you have to. It has a 10-second time where you can see all wards around you. It will. I'm not even sure if it's a bug, but it reveals your own wards as well to your opponents if they see it. I'm not actually sure if that's a bug or not.
Really?
But if not, it's a really cool mechanic because then it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
and
so Ophelia actually gets gone on right now. Parasite gonna hop into a creep. There's the Shatterstorm activated as Lodestone gets in there with the Rocket Drill. Tundra taking a lot of damage. Bubbles comes in, gets the 3-man Kelpfield. Artillery gonna be going in there with the LRM. The Malphus dropped his Tundra gonna be going down on the other side though. Lodestone and Ophelia both already dead as Andromeda running for her life. Parasite gonna scout her out. The auto attacks are there, but there's a stun from the Comet. Great swap from Rhythme trying to get out of there. The LRM's gonna be used to no effect. And it looks like both teams going to be able to back on up. Tundra traded for the Lodestone plus Ophelia and some Ophelia minions. So another good trade from the ex-Trademark team.
Yeah, very well done there. They had really good positioning on their artillery and Hellbringer that fight, but they just didn't have the damage. The Lodestone, which is kind of their nuker, I suppose, wasn't really able to get the greatest ultimate off. It hit Zai and they weren't able to finish him off. He managed to run away, and then they were left with kind of no damage except for the artillery, and was pretty much the end of the fight for them. While CDM just stood their ground, did their damage. They have a lot of, like, all their spells, when they go off cooldown, they're pretty short cooldown spells. They can just keep on doing damage. All of their heroes have a lot of ways of dealing damage. Whilst Andor kind of just sits back, waits for that swap, so he's not really using the Comet stun on cooldown. And then Ophelia, without minions, she's not really doing anything. Hellbringer has his W, but let's be realistic, it doesn't do that much damage that quickly. So they really need to get a little bit further into this game for it to be effective. They had a really strong early game lineup, but they weren't really able to capitalize on their lane strength. So therefore, it's pretty much try and wait for TDM to screw up and win a team fight where they have a farm advantage or items on artillery to win by some kind of positioning.
Yeah, and he's getting those items, about to finish up the Nullstone, in fact, in about 400 gold. But speaking of the hard carry on the other side, Haxrin playing out of his mind, 470 gold per minute, 1-0-0 currently, with 3,300 gold saved up. Already has the Energizer Whispering Helm for the farming combination, and would not be surprised to see, you know, a Firebrand coming out, maybe even a straight Shrunken Head with all of the stuns coming out from the Hellborn team.
I like the Energizer pickup, especially in this kind of a game where if you're able to get kills, it really, really benefits you. And laning phase kills right now are worth so much. I'm not sure if the values are the exact same, but I know they're about the same as I was informed. It used to be if you kill a hero at level 3.
Getting stunned up here in the top lane. The LRM's doing a ton of damage. He's going to infest the Crow, though. Great job from Minuts getting that Crow into position. Shellsurf's going to go out, killing a couple of Ophelia minions. The Hellborn team still in pursuit right now. Lodestone looking for a rocket drill, and somebody activates the Ghost Marchers and is still looking for the Tundra, but looks like Tundra will be able to get out of there. Sorry for the interruption, Insania.
No, no worries at all. But experience values are really, really different now in the laning phase. And I was talking about how that was my favorite change. And what's happened is basically a hero that was level 3, used to be worth, I think, 160 experience, is now instead worth 300. So it's about the double at level 3. And it's just so crazy. When you go for kills right now, it just benefits you so much more than it used to. But yeah, I like this aggressive play from TDM. They're using their bird, they're scouting out the Hellborn team, whilst Haxorn is just farming away. They're not taking any risks, they're not like overstepping their boundaries, they're just staying behind the bird, making sure they have vision at all times. The Hellborn doesn't have any blink heroes, their only initiation is really the Lodestone, and he's sitting really far back waiting to counter-initiate here. So they're just taking their time, letting Haxorn farm, they're setting up here, forcing the Hellborn to be 5 heroes, which is really, really smart playing his move up here now.
He is indeed, of course, does finish up that Shrunken Head, and looks like he activated a mana potion, just getting that mana back, wants to be prepared for battle. The Hellborn team going to be coming in here, though. There's the rocket drill, Shrunken Head activated, there's the Emerald Red Lightning going to be going out right there. The auto attacks damage is there with Ophelia getting hit by a kelp field. Malphus turnaround coming in, but the Shrunken Head still activated as Hellbringer is going to go down. Artillery going to get stunned out by the Parasite as well. He's going to try to get Artillery Barrage out of there. The Shell Surf goes in with the Song of the Sea, getting the vision, and double tap coming in for Haxorn as ex-Trademark now maintaining a 10,000 gold lead, 12,000 experience lead in just 20 minutes. The vote to concede is put up. GG, well played coming up. Go next as ex-Trademark takes the first game in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, that was extremely well played by them. The team fight, how they played it, was very, very nicely done. They waited for the creep wave to die off, and Haxorn popped his Energizer and just went straight in. Popped the BKB, ulted, all in. Very, very well done. They waited for the creeps to die off, because a perfect stun from Aluna got the bounce off only heroes. I think it was one Minotaur that got bounced on, but overall very, very well done. Really nice execution, and that sealed the game. In this new patch, the consequence of giving so much experience and gold is that when you lose a team fight, you lose them hard. You cannot afford to take 5-0 team fights anymore. It's going to be very, very hard to come back from a fight like that. So Afraid need to be a little bit more tactical about their play. Maybe aim for a little bit more gankers, I would like to see, where they can use this new XP values to their advantage, go for the kills on TDM, which is going to be hard, but I think Hellbringer didn't really seem to be a comfort hero for them at all.
Oh, it actually did not work out at all, like you said, which is really unfortunate because that hero is quite strong right now. But when you're trying out these heroes that you just don't have experience with, you got to make sure that you don't use too many of those new heroes at once, as they tried the Pablo McDad Lodestone as well as the Hellbringer, and as a result, I mean, just weren't able to make things work in either of those lanes. But guys, we're going to be going into game 2 between ex-Trademark and Afraid here momentarily. This is Colecast with Beef and Insania, and we're going to be right back with more Runic Shift Invitational.